Back in the 80s, I used to listen to Kiss FM here, 102.7 here in Los Angeles growing up, and young adult. And one of the mainstays in the morning was Rick Dees in the morning. Yes, that Rick Dees. Many of you may know him from Disco Duck, a big song in the 70s. Disco Duck, all that stuff. But he had a popular radio show here in Los Angeles for years, and he had all kinds of it was him and his cast of characters. His wife Robin did stuff with them, and it was Chewy from La Puente and all kinds of different things. And he played these ads for this wine. And but I was like, I remember we went and bought it, and I still have it. We're talking like almost 40 years later. I still have the actual never opened bottle of wine. We had all these, it was like Truth La Puente, John Revolte, like all these just different, just weird guys. I mean, just it was a great thing to do in the mornings. For fun getting ready to go to school and go to work. And I'm so glad my mom went out and bought the wine because we still have it all these years because now it's the collectors. It was Hiney wine. So if you've never heard it before, the Hiney wine is still, I mean, it's still in the bottle, like unopened. I'm sure it's not good at this point. Hiney wine. And so I did a little more digging to find out more about it because on the back it tells you um, it was commissioned by Lamont Winery. They say put over ice. Hiney being your butt. It was always some kind of joke for your butt. And it was licensed by Dorsey and Donnelly Incorporated. So I wanted to, this was made in Texas, but so I wanted to find a little more about this. And I looked up some information. Shout out to Brian Dent. I found a little more about it. So I'm sorry I'm reading because I just read about this and I'm like, I didn't know all this stuff. I knew some of it because I was back then, I was there. But back in the 80s when this was going on, this was literally a gag. Hiney wine was a gag. And so it became this whole thing across the country, different radio stations and being played. Hiney wine was a brainchild of radio DJ Terry Dorsey, which hence the name on here, who in 1981 was the morning guy at KPLX in Dallas. So he made up this kind of bogus commercial for Hiney Winery and aired it, just for fun. It was supposedly, I remember this part, it was supposedly founded by Uncle Harry Hiney, his nephews, Big Red Hiney and Thor Hiney. His Hiney was too good to himself. It was completely, I mean, my friend Flo would hate this. There was lots of puns and, things went on back then. The entire Hiney clan, now as a reason I remember all this stuff too, was a crack inspection team. And the whole thing was the Hiney wine should not be sold for its time. I remember that tagline. So it's like the motto, I remember the motto, you only go around once in life, so grab all the Hiney you can. But it was a hit. It was a hit gag. I mean, it was big enough that I have this bottle. I remember it was a big hit gag. And the whole thing was they had, I don't have any of the t-shirts or buttons or that kind of stuff. We got the wine. So they actually sold it. And so I have Hiney wine. So it's just kind of like anybody remembers this. If you're from Los Angeles, where else remembers this. I think it's very cool. I'll look at the inside, but I'm sure it's not good. I would love to open this bottle up, but I'm scared. But we're keeping it still, but I still have it. Hiney wine. It's hilarious. The things we keep, right? See, like stuff like this, I don't mind stuff like this. This is kind of nostalgia. This actually might be worth a little something. That's different, or you don't want to organize or my other life. Like this stuff's okay. And I have it on the shelf, so there's a place for it. It's prominently displayed. There's always a place for it, but I thought it's kind of cool. So grab a Hiney. I'm James Lott Jr. This is 50 Plus, and I'll talk to you next time.